Hello, YouTube. Crazy Robot Lady here with day 5 of Let's Get to Know 1986 PlayMates Cricket. Now, I was very torn about how to do this video because I don't know if you guys are like me and just getting so blooming tired of this same little setup. I was debating on recording this video outside because it's so pretty today. If I wore a jacket, I would be just fine. But going through the effort of repositioning Cricket and this tripod and all that again, I don't know if it's like shadowy in here or what, but it has taken me about 30 minutes today. And the camera is still going bump bump, so there's something that it's not happy with, but whatever. We will strive on. If for some reason this is bad, I have plenty of people who will let me know. So anyway, on to today's tape. Maybe that will help you understand why I wanted to record it outside. Today's activity book / tape is Cricket Goes Camping. Now, I have had differing stories on what people like to do. Like, most people that I know like to camp in the summer. You know, when it's kind of warm and you can go swim in the lake or whatever. Well, my husband is of the opinion that you should camp in the winter. Around, I don't know, October through December maybe. Well, that wouldn't be yours truly. I don't like the cold. If I do choose to sleep outside, I want to do it when it's warm. Maybe I'm a wimp, but that's why I don't go camping very often. But anyway, so let's get to Miss Cricket and find out what her camping trip was like.
You're the very most fun I've ever found, and you're my friend. Hi there, this is Cricket talking to ya. Have you ever gone camping? It's lots of fun. I love to sleep outdoors in my sleeping bag and go for hikes in the woods. And sometimes I even camp out in my own backyard. Gonna camp out tonight underneath the stars with no roof but the open sky. Gonna camp out tonight where the pine trees are and watch the moon go by. Won't it be wonderful to wake up with the sun? Roll up your bed and be ready for fun. We'll do some singing and playing and hiking around, sitting on the old campground. Gonna camp out tonight underneath the stars with no roof but the open sky. Gonna camp out tonight where the pine trees are and watch the moon go by. One time I went camping in my backyard with my friends Patty Ann and Cindy Lou. We had lots of fun. We took our sleeping bags and we built a tent out of an old bedspread my mom gave me. Then we laid a picnic blanket on the ground and had a great picnic. We were just starting to eat our sandwiches when Cindy Lou said, "Uh-oh, Cricket, better look out." "What's the matter?" I said. "I see two little lamps," said Cindy Lou, "and they're heading straight for your sandwich." "Don't worry," I said. "I know a song we can sing that might make them go away." And then we all sang "The Ants Came Marching." If you know it, sing along.
No, I refuse.
The ants came marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The ants came marching 2 by 2, the little ones stopped to tie a shoe, and they all went marching home. When we finished singing, guess what? The 2 little ants did go home.
Cool.
See, I said to Cindy Lou, what did I tell ya? Well, we were just starting to eat our applesauce when Patty Ann said, uh-oh, Cricket, better look out. What's the matter, I said. I see 4 little ants, said Patty Ann, and they're heading straight for your applesauce. Don't worry, I said. Let's sing 'em our song again. The ants came marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. The ants came marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. The ants came marching 4 by 4, the little ones stopped to shut the door, and they all went marching home. When we finished singing, guess what? The 4 little ants did go home. See, I said to Patty Ann, what did I tell ya? Then we had the best part of our picnic, marshmallows for dessert. But all of a sudden, Patty Ann and Cindy Lou said, uh-oh, Cricket, better look out. What's the matter, I said. Now there are 6 little ants, said Patty Ann and Cindy Lou, and they're heading straight for your marshmallows. Don't worry, I said. Let's sing some more of our song. The ants came marching 6 by 6, hurrah, hurrah. The ants came marching 6 by 6, hurrah, hurrah. The ants came marching 6 by 6, the little ones stopped to pick up sticks, and they all went marching home. And when we finished singing, guess what? The 6 little ants did go home. Only problem was, they came right back again with the whole family of ants.
Oh no.
Oh no, I said. Now there are so many ants. I can't even count them. Should we start singing again, said Patty Ann. I don't think it would do any good, I said. Then what are we going to do, said Cindy Lou. I know, I said. We'll all move to the other end of the blanket, but we'll leave 1 marshmallow down at this end. For the ants, said Cindy Lou and Patty Ann. You guessed it, I said. And that's exactly what we did. We got to have our dessert, and so did all the little ants. There are lots of animals that make sounds at night, and when you camp out, you can hear them. The owls go hoot hoot, and the frogs go ribbit ribbit. Would you like to pretend you're a frog? You would? Great. Here's what you do. When I say the words Freddy the Frog, you say ribbit ribbit. Ready? Here goes. I've got a friend who lives in a log and goes by the name of Freddy the Frog.
Ribbit, ribbit.
I hope you said ribbit ribbit. He started his life as a small pollywog. He'll tell you about it, will Freddy the Frog.
Ribbit, ribbit.
I've heard him whistle and bark like a dog, but most of the time, says Freddy the Frog,
Ribbit, ribbit.
one time he got lost in a very thick fog, and he croaked and he croaked, did Freddy the Frog.
Ribbit!
I looked till I found him down in the bog. Here I am, Cricket, said Freddy the Frog.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Hey, you sound just like Freddy.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Ribbit, ribbit. Now here's a song about Freddy. He went camping once and did lots of fun things. You can do them too. First, pretend you're riding on a horse. Froggy went a camping and he did ride on a horse. Froggy went a camping and he did ride on a horse. Froggy went a camping and he did ride on a horse that swayed from side to side. Now Froggy's gonna swim, so you pretend you're swimming too.
Doggy paddle.
Froggy went a camping and he did swim,
Woo!
Froggy went a camping and he did swim, Froggy went a camping and he did swim, and everyone stopped to look at him, Then Froggy got in a boat and rowed across the lake. You pretend you're rowing too. Froggy went a camping and he did row, Froggy went a camping and he did row, Froggy Froggy, go, 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 uh-huh, uh-huh.
Bye.
That night, Froggy sang some camp songs. You can sing along just like Froggy. Froggy went a camping and he did sing, uh-huh.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Froggy went a camping and he did sing, uh-huh.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Froggy went a camping and he did sing, and he croaked and croaked like anything, uh-huh.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Uh-huh.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Uh-huh.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Here's a rhyming game about some things you do when you camp out. I'll say what rhymes with bent, and you sleep in it. Then you try and figure out what it is. What rhymes with bent, and you sleep in it?
A tent.
A tent, of course. Now try this one. What rhymes with make, and you swim in it?
A lake.
Did you say lake? Lake rhymes with make, and you swim in it. Here's another one. What rhymes with dish, and you catch him with a pole?
A fish.
The answer is fish. Fish rhymes with dish. Try this one. What rhymes with here, and you see him in the woods?
A deer.
Did you say deer? Deer is the right answer. Now here's the last one. What rhymes with sack, and you carry it on your back?
A pack.
The answer is a backpack.
Mm.
Was that a fun camping trip or what? Last time I camped out, I saw a little spider who was trying to build a web. But every time he got started, it would rain, and he'd have to begin all over again. I'm going to sing you a song about that little spider, and you can help me. You pretend your fingers are the spider's legs. Wiggle them as you raise them up in the air. Let's try it. The incy wincy spider climbed up the water.
Somehow my spider
Now
has
keep
10
wiggling your
legs.
fingers as you bring them down again. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Now make a big circle with your arms. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. Now be the spider climbing up again. Then the incy wincy spider climbed up the spout again. Hey, was that great or what? Let's put it all together now. Remember, start with the spider coming up the spout. The incy wincy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the incy wincy spider climbed up the spout again. Now here's a story about a tricky little fox I met once on a camping trip. His name was Reynard, and he thought he was pretty smart, but I outsmarted him, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. One time, I went camping at Lake Ulamagula with my dad. He loves to go fishing, and you know what? So do I.
All right. You guys remember Ulamagula? That was the same lake Corky and his family, or his, yeah, it was his dad. The same family that the same place that Corky went with Mr. Sherman on his camping trip, and the same place where Corky went with his dad to sail his little toy boats on the lake. It was Lake Ulamagula.
So do I. When we got to our campsite, I couldn't wait to go down to the lake. Come on, Dad, I said. Let's go fishing right now. I've got to set up camp first, my dad said. But you go ahead, Cricket. So my dad kept an eye on me while I went down and threw my fishing line into the lake. Just then, Reynard the fox came out of the woods and sat down beside me. Come here, Ruffin, said Reynard. Every summer with my dad, I said. Catch many fish, said Reynard. Not too many, I said. Well, said Reynard, I know a super way to catch fish. Then Reynard turned around and put his tail in the water. He started bobbing it up and down, and suddenly a big fish grabbed hold of it. Then Reynard flipped his tail, and the fish landed right beside me. See, said Reynard as he gobbled up the fish. I told you it was easy. Now you try it. Well, I didn't have a tail, of course, so I threw my fishing line into the lake and started bobbing it up and down. Suddenly, a big fish grabbed hold of my hook. Then I flipped my pole, and the fish landed right beside Reynard. See, said Reynard as he gobbled up the fish. Nothing to it. Want to try and catch another one? Was that little fox dumb or what? He thought he was going to trick me into catching his dinner for him. Only I decided to trick him first. I'd love to catch another one, I said. It's fun to wiggle my toes in the water while I wait for a fish to bite. Then I threw my line back in the lake and bobbed it up and down and wiggled my toes. Sure enough, I caught another fish and it landed right beside Reynard. But this time, he didn't gobble it up. What's the matter, Reynard? I said. You're not full already, are ya? No, said Reynard. But how come you're having so much fun? I thought fishing was hard work. Oh, no, I said. Fishing is the most fun there is. Want to try it? Said Reynard. You go right ahead. I'd love to, I said. It's fun to sing a song and wait for a fish to bite. Then I threw my line back in the lake and bobbed it up and down and wiggled my toes and sang a song. Poor Reynard just couldn't stand it anymore. Gee, Cricket, he said, maybe I will try fishing after all. Great, I said, and I gave Reynard my fishing pole. And before long, he caught a fish too. Hey, said Reynard, this is fun. See, I said, nothing to it. I knew you could do it. Well, Reynard had such a good time fishing, he caught enough for his dinner and for me and my dad's too. Gee, said Reynard, I'll have to do this more often. And from then on, Reynard stopped being a tricky little fox. Instead, he became the champion fisherman of Lake Ulamagula. Was that a fishy story or what?
Yeah.
Gonna camp out tonight underneath the stars with no roof but the open sky. Gonna camp out tonight where the pine trees are and watch the moon go by. Won't it be wonderful to wake up with the sun? Roll up your bed and be ready for fun. We'll do some singing and playing and hiking around, sitting on the old campground. Gonna camp out tonight underneath the stars with no roof but the open sky. Gonna camp out tonight where the pine trees are and watch the moon go by. If you want, you can turn my tape over now, or you can tell me a camping story of your own. But whatever you do, just remember, I'll be talking to ya.
And I'm going to throw in a camping story here. I went camping for the very first time in 1994 when I was 14. No, I was 13, I'm sorry. And it was the most, it was a lot of work. So what we did, we were camping on Lake Hartwell in Clemson. Basically Clemson. Pickens maybe. But anyway, whatever. And we had to get to an island called Windy Point. Okay. Oh, it was an epic. I mean, it was crazy. I was at a camp for the disabled, and well, first we left our cabin and walked about, I don't know, probably about half a mile to the lodge at the top part of the campsite, the campground. And there we picked up our sleeping bags, those of us who didn't have one. I already had one. My sister insisted on buying me this polar fleece thing. I think we might have went to North Face or some outdoorsy type store. I mean, this thing, it was the Fort Knox of sleeping bags, okay? So, so we get our sleeping bags, and then we walk from the lodge back down past the cabins all the way to the shore of the lake. And there are 8 different canoes tied up. It might have been 8. It might have been 10. I can't remember. But so we got into the canoe, 3 people to a canoe, and I don't know why, but they put me in the middle because apparently I had a power stroke and a half, and the front and back people didn't really need to do anything until we had to turn. Yeah, I was the blooming beast of burden, the fish of burden, or whatever you want to call it. I was the propulsion system. So, we start out from the shore of the lake, and we paddle, 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 and we've all got these little cellular phones with us, but they're in this bag thing, and it's inflatable or something, so that if the phone should drop overboard or something, it won't sink and disappear. So we paddled for, I don't know, probably about an hour or so. And by the time we got to the island, I was exhausted. So we get to the island, and then we have to go gather firewood. Okay, I was put on firewood duty detail. So I go and gather the firewood, and all of a sudden, I've got to attend to some business, if you take my meaning. And I'm like, where's the bathroom? And this counselor was just looking at me like, go behind a tree. And I was like, what? But yeah, that was my first discovery about camping out. And then after we got everything put together, we had to, we didn't have like an actual tent. We had a couple of tarps. One tarp was slung up in the trees and tied overhead, and the other one was on the ground. And we were all in sleeping bags. So, okay. So I'm chilling on the ground in this sleeping bag. And one of the counselors, this was the most amazing part of the whole thing. I'm hearing the crickets and the cicadas. And then all of a sudden I hear this beautiful voice. It's Leslie Ann, who was one of our counselors, and she was singing a song from Pete's Dragon. I don't know what song it was, but it was something about this girl that I guess she was missing her boyfriend or her close friend or something, and she was singing about a river and staring out into the water and missing her friend. And I was like, oh, this is great. So okay. So eventually everybody got quiet and went to sleep. There weren't very many snores, thankfully, but there were everything else. There was crickets, and there was cicadas, and there was blooming mosquitoes, and all kinds of other bugs flying around. And there was this random plant. Now, I got hot in my Fort Knox, and so I kind of squiggled out of it, and I was lying on the ground, and I discovered this plant between my toes. And I pulled on it with my baby toe and the toe next to it for, I don't know, probably a few hours. And I finally went to sleep. Well, in the morning, I wake up and I kind of do this kicking thing because there's something scratching my ankles. And every time I move, it scratches some more. Well, I did this whole undignified girly noise that I can no longer make since my tonsils are gone. And everybody's like, "What's wrong with you? Something's attacking me." Well, no, it wasn't a something. Well, not really. It was that blooming plant. I had fallen asleep with my toes wrapped around that thing, and evidently I had uprooted it, and it was lying across my ankles. So yeah, I mean, very interesting camping trip. I definitely felt, I don't know, I felt wild and like connected to the woods and to nature, and I don't know, I sort of felt like Pocahontas. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna hush now, and we shall turn Cricket's tape over. Ugh. Ow. Come on, get out of my way. Even though you are flat, there's still nothing to hold you down. All right, Miss Cricket. You're a little bit close to your brother there, dear. Come over some. Sorry. Okay. Now,
A camping we will go, a camping we will go. Hi ho the dairy-o, a camping we will go. I learned that song at day camp. I went last summer and I had a wonderful time. We learned arts and crafts and some great songs and stories. We played games too. Here's an animal game that you might like. It's about a lot of fast animals and one slow one. When I name an animal, you do what he does. If he's fast, you go fast. If he's slow, you go slow. Rabbits hopping over the ground, rabbits jumping up and down. They're so quick, they're so fast. Rabbits hopping past. Horses racing over the ground, horses running.
I'm not gonna run.
They're so quick, they're so fast. Horses running past. But the snail.
The snail?
He's a slow-moving guy. Never going anywhere in the wink of an eye. He's so very slow, but he gets there by and by. Wild birds are flying over the ground, birds are flying up and down. They're so quick, they're so fast, birds flying past. Foxes trotting over the ground, foxes running up and down. They're so quick, they're so fast, foxes trotting past. But the snail, he's a slow-moving guy, never going anywhere in the wink of an eye. He's so very slow, but he gets there by and by. One of the fun things about camping out overnight is sitting around the fire telling spooky stories. One time, I went camping with my friends Susan and Jonathan and their mom and dad. We drove a long way into the forest, and then we stopped at a campground. By the time we got there, it was already getting dark. So we set up our tents and built a fire right away. We barbecued hot dogs and marshmallows, and then Jonathan told us a story about old Pirate Pete, who buried a treasure chest somewhere deep in the woods. Do you think it might be around here, said Susan. You never know, said Jonathan. Pirate Pete is supposed to go looking for his treasure every night of the full moon. Hey, I said, there's a full moon tonight. Then all of a sudden, there was the sound of creeping footsteps just outside our campfire. Did you hear that? Said Susan. Yeah, I said. Do you think it might be Pirate Pete? You never know, said Jonathan. He was trying to act brave, but I could tell he was pretty scared too. Well, the footsteps kept getting closer and closer. Then all of a sudden Susan screamed, "It's Pirate Pete!" But picture this. It wasn't Pirate Pete at all. It was Susan and Jonathan's dad, Mr. Sherman. He was just getting wood for our campfire. Gee, Mr. Sherman, I said, you sure had us scared for a minute. We thought you were Pirate Pete. Then Mr. Sherman laughed and said, I don't know about Pirate Pete, but have you heard about Wailing Annie? Wailing Annie, said Susan. Who's she? And Mr. Sherman said, Wailing Annie is a ghost who rattles her chains every night of the full moon. But Dad, said Jonathan, there's a full moon tonight. All of a sudden, there was the sound of rattling chains just outside our campfire. Did you hear that? Said Susan. Yeah, I said. Do you think it might be Wailing Annie? You never know, said Jonathan. Poor Jonathan was still trying to act brave, but he looked scarier than ever. Well, the chains kept getting closer and closer and closer. Then all of a sudden, Susan screamed, It's Wailing Annie! But picture this. It wasn't Wailing Annie at all. It was Susan and Jonathan's mom, Mrs. Sherman. She was putting away the pots and pans from dinner. Gee, Mrs. Sherman, I said, you sure had us scared for a minute. We thought you were Wailing Annie. Who? Said Mrs. Sherman. Wailing Annie, I said. That's who. I didn't say who, said Mrs. Sherman. Then if you didn't say who, I said, who said who? Who, somebody said again. Then suddenly something flew down right over our campfire. Susan screamed, It's the ghost of Wailing Annie. But picture this. It wasn't Wailing Annie's ghost at all. It was just an old owl going hoo hoo. Everybody laughed, and Mr. Sherman said, Hey, that owl reminds me of another spooky story. Would you kids like to hear it? Said Susan. How about you, Jonathan? Said Jonathan. How about you, Cricket? I said. I've had enough spooky stories for one night. After we finished telling our stories, everybody felt like sitting close to the campfire and singing camp songs. Jonathan's dad taught us a song called John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. You might know it. If you do, sing along. If you don't, listen one time and then join in. But here's the best part. We're going to sing it 3 times, and each time we're going to sing it softer until the last time, and that's going to be real loud. Here we go. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, that's my name too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, that's my name too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, that's my name too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra. After we sang John Jacob Jingleheimer, Jonathan's mom thought up a real tongue twister. Nobody could do it, but we sure had a good time trying. You can try too. Just say 6 quick squirrels 3 times as fast as you can, like this.
6 quick squirrels.
6 quick squirrels. Quick,
squirrels.
quick,
6
quick,
quick
quick,
squirrels.
quick.
6 quick squirrels. 6 quick
I
squirrels.
guess I better
6 quick
practice
squirrels.
slowly first.
6
See if you can
quick
do it.
squirrels.
Say 6 quick squirrels.
6
3
quick
time as
Six
fast
quick
as you
squirrels.
can.
Six quick
Go
squirrels.
ahead.
6 quick squirrels. 6 quick squirrels. 6 quick squirrels. Squick,
Were
squick.
those 6 quick squirrels silly or what?
Oh,
Here's another song we sang around our campfire. It's called This Old Man, and we made up a fun game to go with it. When I sing This Old Man, he played 1, you hold up 1 finger. If I sing This Old Man, he played 4, you hold up 4 fingers. Get the idea?
yeah.
Here we go. This old man, he played 1, he played knick-knack on my drum with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played 5, he played knick-knack on my hide with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played 8, he played knick-knack on my gate with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home. This old man, he played 10, he played knick-knack on my hen with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home.
Poor hen.
The last day of our camping trip, we all went for a hike in the woods. We saw lots of animals. There were rabbits and birds and squirrels too. And when we got back to camp, we decided to play a game of Simon Says. You can play too. Here's all you do. When Simon says hop like a rabbit, you pretend you're a rabbit and hop around. When Simon says fly like a bird, you flap your arms like wings. And when Simon says nibble a nut like a squirrel, you put your paws, up to your mouth and pretend you're nibbling on a nut. Are you ready to play? All right, let's go. Simon says hop like a rabbit. Simon says fly like a bird.
Woohoo!
Simon says nibble a nut like a squirrel. Hop like a rabbit. Did you hop? Simon didn't say to. Simon says hop like a rabbit. Simon says nibble a nut. Fly like a bird. Uh-oh, Simon didn't say to. Simon says nibble a nut. Simon says fly like a bird. Simon says hop like a rabbit. Simon says fly like a bird. Nibble a nut.
Ah, crap!
Simon didn't say to nibble a nut. Simon says fly like a bird. Simon says hop like a rabbit. Simon says nibble a nut. Simon says hop like a rabbit. Simon says nibble a nut. Simon says nibble another nut. Simon says nibble lots of nuts. Simon says be a nut. Was that Simon nutty or what? When we were in the woods, Jonathan, Susan, and I stayed close to our campsite, and we never wandered off alone. But I know a story about some children who weren't so careful. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
You would? Well, here goes. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Hansel who had a little sister named Gretel. They lived with their father in a cottage deep in the forest. And every morning before he went to work, Hansel and Gretel's father told them the same thing. Never, never go into the woods alone. You might get lost and never find your way out. Hansel and Gretel didn't want to get lost. Only problem was there was a yummy gingerbread house hidden somewhere in the woods, and they really wanted to find it. So one day Hansel said to his sister, Gretel, let's go into the woods and look for the gingerbread house. I'd like to, said Gretel, but what if we get lost and can't find our way out? Don't worry, said Hansel. We'll leave a trail of breadcrumbs behind us. Great idea, said Gretel. That way we can always find our way home. So Hansel and Gretel set off into the woods, making sure to leave a long trail of breadcrumbs. They walked deep into the forest. Then all of a sudden, there was a flock of birds behind them. Where all those birds come from, said Hansel. Never mind where they came from, said Gretel. Just look at what they're doing. Oh no, said Hansel. The birds are eating our breadcrumbs. So before their trail was gone, Hansel and Gretel turned around and ran all the way home. Next day, after their father went to work, Hansel said to his sister, Gretel, let's go into the woods and look for the gingerbread house. I'd like to, said Gretel. But what if the birds eat our breadcrumbs again? Don't worry, said Hansel. We'll leave a trail of breadcrumbs and pebbles behind us. Great idea, said Gretel. Even if the birds eat our breadcrumbs, we can still find our way home. So Hansel and Gretel set off into the woods, making sure to leave a long trail of breadcrumbs and pebbles this time. They went even deeper into the forest. The birds ate their breadcrumbs, but the trail of pebbles just stayed put. Then suddenly they found the gingerbread house, and it was even neater than they had thought. It had cotton candy windows and a giant jelly bean for a chimney, and a roof made of chocolate icing. Oh boy, said Hansel, am I hungry. Me too, said Gretel. Let's eat. So Hansel and Gretel crept up to the gingerbread house and broke off a piece to eat. But that very minute, a croaky old voice spoke from behind the door. Nibble, nibble like a mouse. Who's been nibbling at my house? Well, do you think Hansel and Gretel stayed around to find out whose croaky old voice it was?
No.
They were so scared, they dropped their gingerbread, turned around, and ran all the way home as fast as they could. It's a good thing for them. Their trail of pebbles was right where they left it. Where have you been? Said their father. I've been looking all over. Oh, said Hansel, we just took a little hike in the woods. You didn't get lost, did you? Said their father. No, said Gretel, we didn't get lost, exactly. But we promised never to go in those woods alone again. Ever. And you know what? They never did. Gonna camp out tonight underneath the stars, with no roof but the open sky. Gonna camp out tonight where the pine trees are, and watch the moon go by. You can turn my tape over now, or you can look in your activity book for some more fun camping things to do. But whatever you do, just remember, I'll be talking to ya.
That was fun. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to sit here and jabber much because I jabbered in the middle here. So, I will just say that I hope all of you enjoyed this. And, I'm not sure whether I will be back to do another video this week. I might, because it's getting awfully close to Christmas. And we have this tradition where we spend the night over at a friend's house. So we're there for Christmas Eve and a good part of Christmas Day. So, I don't know. I might be back. I have a possible IBO video in the works. If you guys have looked at my community tab, you will see that there is a poll there. And basically what I'm doing is trying to find out which IBO you would like oatmeal to meet next. And it's a choice between Lucky, my white ERS7, and Reepicheep, my silver IBO 110. I will tally up all the votes by Wednesday and find out who is the winner. So if you are curious, if you want to be a part of the crazy robot community, go and vote. All right, I promise I'm done now. So, as usual, like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell so you will know whenever I put up new content. God bless, and I will see you in the next video.